Hey guys, what's up? Well, today I want to share with you something that really helps me create better illustrations, and I'm gonna share with you this process video of a gig poster that I've recently made. So some background about this gig poster. So it's a really cool event that has, live music and bands playing, and it's actually been organized by a local record store that sells vinyl records. So it's like twice a year they organize this really cool event, and I've already made a bunch of posters for these guys. And well, I used to just draw whatever I want because the brief was pretty open and just have fun and experiment with posters. But after a while, I kind of felt like I want to do something different. And I really, I've been to the event a few times and I really like the whole thing, and decided to create a poster that kind of represents the tone and the vibe of these really cool music events. So I did this poster like a couple of years ago, and I thought it would be interesting to talk about, why I think, what makes this poster a little more interesting, in my opinion anyway. So let's start from the beginning. I think as an illustrator, you really want to communicate fast with your audience, right? This is something that goes without saying. So using things like cliches, things that everybody knows, that are more general in a way, will help you communicate fast. So I think this is something that most of us do without even realizing. So using general references is great, and it's something you should keep doing. Using cliches is the best and fastest ways to communicate. But the thing is, it might turn your work into something that is too general and not intriguing enough, not interesting enough for your audience. So it's something that just I felt like it really happens to me a lot. I go with the obvious imagery and don't make it specific enough. So that's my tip, like in general, and I'm gonna try to explain, what's the difference. So let's just look at this poster and try to kind of understand what's going on. So the first thing you can see, there's a guy holding a guitar. That's like the main thing in the poster. So this is general. I mean, anyone who sees this poster can understand that it's something that has to do with music. And that's good. That's like the cliche, the generic part that you want to have in your illustration in order to communicate fast. But once you do that, I think adding some layers of references that are your own, local references, things that you know that will interest your audience. I think these kind of things can really help make your work more special and unique. And so let's just again look let's just look at this poster and try to understand what's happening here. So as you can see, this guy is playing the guitar, and he's sitting on this big tree log, and there's a big axe chopping off the tree, and you can actually see there's vinyl records coming out of the tree. So this obviously relates to the fact that these music events are organized by the local record store. So this is one specific reference that I use just to make it more specific to these events. Another thing you can see is this dog howling in the back, and it's actually based on the fact that these events are open and they're outside, and a lot of people come with their dogs, and you can see a lot of dogs in these events. And it's just something that makes these events a little different from the normal live music shows. So if it makes it more special, it's something that I want to include in the illustration. Another thing that you can see is this character. It's a guy holding a guitar, but also, I can find a million different illustrations and icons of guitars and people holding guitars. And so what I try to do when I use something that is a bit of a cliche is I try to give it my own style, obviously, and have the guy represents the type of guys who will actually come to this event. So you can see, like, from different photos from like previous music shows, you can see that these are the type of guys that comes to the show. long hair, long beard, walking barefoot. That's the vibe of this event, and this is why I think it's important to kind of find your own references and try to include them in the illustration. I think it makes the whole thing a bit more special to the people who actually comes to the music show, and I think they can relate better with the poster. Okay, let's take a look at the new poster. Well, I gotta say it's less interesting than the one I did a couple of years ago, because I didn't have a lot of time to create this, but I wanted to have the same guy playing again with his guitar with just a different composition. So this time I wanted to have like more surroundings, trees, and the river that is actually located pretty close to the event. And I actually tried to include this red bridge, which is actually a real thing and a real reference that I used again because it's very close to the record store, and I think this red bridge is something that the local people can recognize, and it makes the poster a little more interesting for them. So okay, so that's the whole tip. I mean, it's pretty simple. On one hand, try to communicate fast using cliché, using things that are more generic, and on the other hand, try to make your work a little more specific with references that are special to you and your audience. And yeah, just try to think about, you know, two different people creating a gig poster for two different events. One of them lives in, I don't know, in China, and the other one lives in London. If both of them will use specific local references and try to connect with their audience, I think the poster will be completely different, and that makes both of the posters more special, more interesting than having just like generic imagery in your designs. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna leave you with the rest of the process video and talk to you soon. Enjoy!
Don't be afraid, won't let you fall, girl. Don't be afraid, won't let you fall, girl.
Okay, so this is the final poster. As always, if you have any questions about my process or anything else, just leave a comment, and that's it for today. I'll see you next time. Bye.